I'm Rachel Hernandez, real estate investor turned mobile home investor and best-selling author. I make a living investing in mobile homes for cash flow for long-term passive income. After many mistakes and lessons learned, I've been able to create the kind of life where I can do the types of things I want to do, not have to do. I created the Adventures in Mobile Homes podcast to share with you what I've learned so you can spend more time with family, friends, and do things you love. Mobile home investing can help you get there. If you want to hear real stories with practical and actionable advice you can use from someone who's been in the trenches and who's still investing today to create the type of life you love, then you're in the right place. Let's get started. Well, hey there, and welcome to another episode of the Adventures in Mobile Homes podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of AdventuresInMobileHomes.com. Thank you so much for joining me here on the 48th episode of the podcast. Now, just in case you missed it, be sure to check out the last episode where I talk about the differences between rent-to-own transactions versus lease options when offering up your homes on the market to potential end buyers as a mobile home investor. You can check it out at www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/47. So today, I'm going to talk about a write-up on a case update for a scam alert on a mobile home investing guru. And just in case you missed it, be sure to check out episode 46 of the podcast, where I talk about it in more detail and tell you about my video commentary on the subject. Now, I'll be sure to link it up here in the show notes if you'd like to check it out. Now, I've got some news on the scam alert that I talked about a few weeks ago. As mentioned, there are multiple court cases against this individual. And I'll tell you, this guru owes a lot of investors a lot of money. So today, I'm going to talk to you about my write-up on the subject and an update on some of the court cases against this individual. Because it's a long time coming. And it's time to test our court system and see where and when we can get justice served. But before we move on, let's hear a word from our sponsor. Hey there, Rachel here. Have you enjoyed the show and podcast so far? Has it helped you with your own mobile home investing journey? And have you received value from it? If yes, then consider supporting the show. So, how can you show your support? Well, there's a couple of things that you can do. The first thing you can do is leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or anywhere else the podcast can be heard. Go to www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/podcast to see the sites and links where you can leave a review on. I'll be ever so grateful if you do. And you may even get a shout out and your review read right on the show, just for doing it. Another thing you can do is support the show and buy me a coffee. If you know me, you know how much I love coffee. If you've gotten a lot of good information out of the podcast and it has helped you as a mobile home investor, I'd love your support. Now, in the future, I'll be giving shout outs to those who support me. So if you do, that may be you. Go to www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support for more information on how you can show your support. Again, www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support. And if you want to take it a step further and receive exclusive only content, consider being a member. On the support page there, you'll find info about how you can view exclusive content, including access to new videos and blog posts, a shout out in a future episode for your support, access to video replays on my past speaking engagements if you haven't seen me speak yet, and more. Check out www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/support to find out more. Thanks so much for continuing to listen to the podcast and for your support. Now, back to the show. Okay, so today I want to talk about this mobile home investing guru and give you an update on the court cases against them, which is detailed in my write-up. Now, from my video commentary on this guru, as far as we know, this particular person owes a lot of investors a lot of money. And as mentioned in my video commentary, these investors were made promises by this mobile home investing guru, but these promises were empty. They didn't keep their promises. They broke their word. And it was excuse after excuse after excuse to these investors who trusted this person with their hard-earned money and had even purchased this guru's courses and training programs on mobile home investing. All because they believed in this person who seemed to talk a good game and appeared to know what they were doing. Though, as mentioned in my video commentary, I had already spotted the red flags before all of this happened, before everything blew up. And essentially, this particular mobile home investing guru, well, they ruined their own reputation. Because honestly, what I was hearing from other real estate investors about this particular person, well, it was just too good to be true. And when we hear these words, it's just like how the saying goes. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Though a lot of these investors fell for it. They fell for what this particular mobile home investing guru had promised them. They fell for the dreams and the hopes that this mobile home investing guru said they'd achieve in a short amount of time, which I've never advocated. Now, if you know me and you've been listening to my podcast show and reading my blog, Adventures in Mobile Homes, you know that I say being successful takes work, hard work, and time. This is what separates new people from seasoned ones, like myself. I've been through the ups and downs of the market. I've been through many different real estate cycles myself. Anyone who tells you otherwise, that you don't have to experience this, well, they're basically lying to you. This is where you learn the most, when you hit the ground running and bump into these different cycles of the market through experience. Because I will tell you, there are always different cycles of the market in any business, whether it be real estate or mobile homes. Now, getting back to things, so now we know the scam from my video commentary. Again, I'll link it up here in the show notes if you'd like to check out that episode. So, what's actually happening in court? And what's being done to stop this individual from hurting others? Not just financially, but also emotionally. Because I will tell you, a lot of people were affected by this individual. A lot of investors invested their life savings or large amounts of money with this person, only to find out that, well, this person is a fraud. Yes, I said it because it's been said in court. So let's get to the court cases. what exactly is being done to stop this individual? Well, as stated in my video commentary on this mobile home investing guru, there are a lot of court cases nationwide against them. And investors that have been hurt and affected by this individual person have been urged by other investors to do something about it. File in court, write reviews on this person all over the internet. And let me tell you, they have. And that's a good thing, because we need to stop people like this, people who are hurting other real estate investors and giving us mobile home investors a bad name, all because they associated themselves with us. Like, they make us think they're one of us, or have been one of us in the past, because they've done all of these mobile home deals. But in reality, they're not. They're not doing deals. They're making money out of people's greed, people's ignorance, making up lies to make it seem like they're so successful when they're not even successful in the first place. So let's get to the court cases. So a court case in this individual's local area has deemed that this mobile home investing guru had run a scam. There were enough investors who came forward with evidence against this individual to make the judge come to the conclusion that people are owed money. So now it's to the point where the court is locating assets in order to get them liquidated from this individual and to actually pay these investors who are owed money. There are so many stories of investors being had from this individual from my video commentary, along with my write-up on the case update on this topic. I'm telling you, this is unbelievable. Not only because it's a real estate investing guru, but one that specializes or supposedly specialized in mobile home investing. How crazy is that? Because honestly, for the most part, the majority of the mobile home investors that I've met, well, they've been pretty honest and straightforward. So to hear about this so-called mobile home investing guru who's had YouTube videos, courses, and trainings on the subject, only to find out, well, that they cheated and lied, stole money from all of these real estate investors, well, it's just beyond me. So when I found out the information, I just couldn't believe it. And as mentioned in the past, a lot of my readers and listeners of this podcast and blog had asked me about this specific individual. They had asked me what I had thought of this person to get my perspective. And they wanted to know what I thought of them and their courses and trainings on mobile home investing. And like I've said in the past and in my video commentary, I told these people, well, I just don't know this person. In fact, I had never even heard of this person. They weren't around the mobile home investing community. They weren't in the space. There was no story out there of how they learned about mobile home investing like I did and how Lonnie Scruggs did, the godfather of mobile home investing. This person, this mobile home investing guru, well, they just basically came on the scene and wanted to teach people about mobile home investing. Sounds pretty suspicious to me, don't you think? Especially since no one had ever heard of this person, including myself. So, how in the world can I measure someone like that? How can I assess their experience, time, and know-how in the mobile home investing space? Well, you can't. You just can't. So how did they sell their vision? How did they sell their courses and trainings to all of these real estate investors? How did they scam these people out of their savings and even retirement savings in many cases? Well, it was just plain greed. And let me tell you, that's enough for these investors to give people their money and buy their courses and trainings. Because I'm telling you, it's like a casino. You're made promises by this person that this is all you need to do. It's easy money. And you just have to give them your money, your hard-earned money, and believe in what they're saying and doing, which is really nothing much at all. So now the truth comes out. This is just one court case, essentially in this mobile home investing guru's own backyard. And it's all coming out. This person is a fraud. They stole millions of dollars from these investors. They sold courses and trainings, which honestly wasn't even backed up by anything, just alleged deals here and there. But to tell you the truth, they're nobody, because people didn't even know who they were in the first place. It takes time to build a reputation. It takes time to be successful, not just as a real estate investor, but in anything that you do. So to come out on the scene and make it seem like they're just successful overnight because, well, it's just easy money to make money as a real estate investor, well, that's just plain ridiculous. So I'm sorry to all of these investors who were affected and played into this mobile home investing guru's greed. I'm sorry that they lost their money. I'm sorry that they invested in this guru's courses and trainings on mobile home investing. I'm sorry that they've had to go to court to try to recoup what they're owed in front of a judge. I'm sorry that this has all happened. But I'm not sorry that this person has been caught. I'm not sorry that the court is trying to locate assets to pay these investors back what they're owed. Because you know what? Promises were made, yet broken. And this is the cost for being a liar and a cheater. All in all, this person ran a complete scam. So, this is a word of warning for anyone listening. Be careful of people like this. People who make it seem like things are easy and you can make money overnight. People who have no reputation but claim to have all of this experience. People who other real estate investors and even seasoned investors like myself have never even heard of before. Because honestly, these people, these scammers, they'll continue to do what they do if there are people willing to fall for their lies, willing to fall for their scams, willing to fall for their greed. And I will say, this is why people play into it. They're just sold on greed. These real estate investing gurus who really aren't there to help people, well, they're just there to make money for themselves. But they don't really care about the people like this mobile home investing guru who was caught. And yes, they will continue to sell on greed because that's all they can do to get customers and people's hard-earned money. But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. This is just one of the many court cases out there. So I'm glad to hear that justice is starting to be served on this specific individual. I'm hoping that these real estate investors who are owed money get their money back. But according to my write-up and analysis, it's very unlikely, as there are not many assets that have been located that this individual owns. In fact, some investors who were hurt have even claimed fraud, meaning that there were no assets backed up by the money they gave this person, that they didn't even exist in the first place, which is a completely different case altogether, probably why this is possibly being investigated by both the FBI and the SEC. So there you have it. The information about my write-up on the case update for the scam alert that I wrote about and had a video commentary on the subject a while back. And again, I'll go ahead and link up the write-up here in the show notes, along with my video commentary on the subject, which details the scam, what and who was involved, including the investors affected, and my commentary on what exactly happened and what will happen in the future. Now, this write-up on this case update for the scam alert on this mobile home investing guru, it's available to members of my support page. And if you'd like to check it out, I'll link it up here in the show notes. So if you've enjoyed my podcast and want to access exclusive behind-the-scenes content like this, consider becoming a member of my support page. Now, as a member, you'll receive access to these types of detailed posts and video and audio of my private podcast, where I go more into detail on specific topics within mobile home investing. Plus, you'll also get discounts to special events, and here's the kicker, discounts to my existing courses and classes, including a special extra discount to my Dodd-Frank and SAFE Act course, especially for mobile home investors, just for members of my support page. So you definitely don't want to miss out on this special deal. Sign up as a member today. And now I want to take some time to give a shout out and thank a recent new member and supporter of the support page. So here goes. Special thanks to Ronald, who recently signed up as a member. Ronald writes, I took your course on mobile home investing, and I'm looking forward to the future wholesaling class as well. I'm also very happy with your book, Adventures in Mobile Homes, as well as your book, The Mobile Home Park Research Logbook. Look forward to all of your podcasts and hope to meet and work together in a mentor program. Thanks so much, Ronald, for becoming a member, and welcome. And just for clarification, Ronald is talking about a wholesaling mobile homes class that I'm currently putting together in the future, as I've had a lot of interest in the subject. So my members will be the first to hear about it. Also, my mobile home park research logbook that Ronald referenced is a book that I put together where you can do your market research for the mobile home parks that you visit. You can find it at my store at adventuresinmobilehomes.com/store, which I'll link up here in the show notes. And then, of course, my book, Adventures in Mobile Homes, which details how I got started in mobile home investing and how you can too, which is one of the top 10 mobile home investing books. I'll also be sure to link it up here in the show notes as well. That's about it for the shout-outs, and if you become a member of the support page, or if you support me by buying me a coffee or two, if you've enjoyed my content, then I'll also give you a shout out on the podcast. So if you're interested and would like to check out the support page, you can find it at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support. Again, www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/support. Please consider becoming a member and showing your support. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out the show notes for this episode for all the links mentioned. You can find it at www.adventuresinmobilehomes.com/48. Again, www.adventuresofmobilehomes.com/48. Well, that's about it for now. Hoping you're all doing well with your family and your loved ones. And speaking of family and your loved ones, if you've enjoyed the podcast so far, please be sure to share it with family and friends. And be sure to follow me and subscribe. And if you have some time, please write a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser if you've enjoyed the podcast. It really helps me to keep motivated and also come up with more content to help you become a better mobile home investor. Well, that's about it for now. Until next time, this is Rachel Hernandez, aka Mobile Home Girl of the Adventures of Mobile Homes podcast, signing off. Thanks for tuning in.